So I'm gonna pull my desk back a little bit. I feel awful, but I'm at school. I'm so focused on creating my own things because that's how I was taught, and I'm not focusing on how to actually teach it. Hey guys, it is Sunday and I'm starting my vlog on Sunday again. This is not a pretty look for me, but this was a rough weekend because I got really sick and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I think it's just my allergies like really taking over, but like all through my throat, like back here is like sore. It's not like when I swallow, nothing, it doesn't hurt like here, like strep throat or anything, but it's like sore through here and my ears. So if anyone knows what that is, I mean, by the time you see this, it'll be next week, so that won't really be helpful, but just in case. So right now I am planning out my lesson. Something I've noticed I haven't been doing is taking a look at the standard and the unpacking guide and really understanding what I'm supposed to be teaching. I think that's why I've been struggling a little bit with math this year, because I'm just using our curriculum map, which has a little blurb about what we decided to teach that day, but that's nowhere near what I should be looking at. I found this website and I'm not quite sure what it is, and you can't see all of it all the time. It's really interesting. It's hcpss.instructure.com, and it breaks down the standard for you. It talks about the rigor, it talks about the math, it talks about conceptual understanding, procedural understanding, application, just like all these different things and resources, and it's really neat. I think some of it isn't out and open to the public. I can't really figure out what it is, but if I type in the standard in Google and type HCPSS, then it comes up like about the math is what I click on. And so it's really interesting and I really like it. Another thing I've been working on is I've actually made small group intervention plans this week. In the past, I was just pulling kids and started practicing, but what I've done now, okay, so this first sheet, it breaks it down Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, because I don't have rhyme time on Thursday, Wednesday. So here I have 2 groups for my first block, 2 groups for my second, 2 groups for my first, 2 groups for my second. And typically I have the same block here that I have here, or group, okay? I just didn't want you to see the kids' names. So then on the second page, I have the plans. So it's the same blocks, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I just broke it into 2 parts because I'm typically doing 2 different groups a day. So I have a comparing group, and the group I meet with Monday, I'm going to meet with Tuesday. So this is what we're doing Monday, this is what we're doing Tuesday. Same with 10 times a number. And then I'm doing 10 times a number later in the week with different groups, so I got to keep the same thing there. And then I'm hopefully going to have time for some rounding groups because our rounding test will be on Friday and I have a lot of struggling kids, so I need to work with them at some point. But we also need to do test corrections for our other test, so I'm a little swamped right now. But the way I broke my kids down into groups over here, I will show you tomorrow, because I went ahead and made a checklist of the topics. So I started with place value, then 10 times a number, then comparing, and then rounding. And if they got like 85% of or above on their test, then I said they mastered that skill. And I went in and took a look at which questions they got wrong. So if the only questions they got wrong were 10 times the number, then I didn't check them off because I want to work with them on that so they can master that skill. So that's what I went ahead and did a little bit on Friday after school and a little bit this weekend. That way I can really understand which of my kids know what, because that is very important to me. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just going to read up on the standard that I'm teaching this week, which is 4NBT4, and just fluently adding and subtracting with the standard algorithm, multi-digit whole numbers up to the millions. So it's going to be a pretty simple week, but I want to do it the right way. Lots of graph paper, lots of talk about our place value, because some of my kids are still struggling with the order of the place value, and I don't understand why. It's only like a handful of them though, like from both classes combined. It's not a lot of them. It's just my really low babies that I'm really trying to help out, but I did teach them teaching and so forth's place value wrap, and they loved that. So hopefully that helps the one that goes, I got my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So hopefully we're going to be saying it every day, and so as they're taking their test they can sing that, and I'm going to remind them to in their head. That way they're paying attention to the place value, because some of them don't want to pay attention. I'm sure you guys have had this problem in the past. So that's what I'm working with now. Welcome to Monday. It is after school and it is 5 o'clock. Currently working on cleaning my desk area because it is a mess. I have to set up some things around the room for tomorrow. We're doing this PBL where kids have to pick furniture from ads, add it all together, write a check for it. They're using all the skills they've been learning. So I have to set those up around the classroom. But I also want to move my desks and move the carpet more towards the center of my classroom. If you didn't see my vlog last week, I got a new carpet from Donors Choose. 2 anonymous donors donated over $600 for my classroom, which is amazing. I'm so grateful. I need my carpet more in the center of my room. So I'm gonna pull my desk back a little bit. I'll probably have it maybe not up against the wall either, more facing this way maybe. That way I can see the kids in front of me. All right, so I've pulled it that much that way, which I do think makes a difference. I could pull it even more. I'm wondering if it would be better to put my desk over here, but actually that wouldn't work because that table's there. That's as far as it can go that way. I just don't know what to do with my desk. It's sitting straight across now. I'm just gonna leave it for the time being and go clear my desk. Good morning, guys. I feel awful, but I'm at school. I actually don't feel that bad anymore, but I clearly cannot speak today. Hey guys, it's been so go lately. I'm so sorry. I just am constantly doing something and don't have time to pull out the camera and talk about what I'm doing. So as you can tell, I still don't have my voice. It's actually, it like got better throughout the day and then worse again. If I like stop talking for a while, it gets worse. It is the end of the day. Math went okay. I've realized I need to change up how I'm teaching. I need to teach the 4th grade content and not just keep pushing forward because I have AIG students. I need to hold back for my lower ones and my on-level ones. So I will be reteaching subtraction tomorrow. Addition, all my kids have been doing pretty good at, so I'm not worried about addition, but subtraction we definitely need to touch on more. And then Thursday we need to do more word problems, which I can pull more groups for subtraction. So test Friday, maybe we'll see how it goes. But I've been making the test and the study guide. So that's what I've been working on. And I had a conference with a parent after school. So like I said, I've been just busy. Luckily, tomorrow is my planning day. So I get a little bit of a break. Emphasis on little. So I need to put the title on this test. And then I need to figure out what I need to bring home tonight. All right, so here is my yellow bin that have ended up bringing home every day, and I'm gonna head out. Haven't been able to really clean that board much. Did not put up a keep the quote this week. Don't have a morning message, but it's 6 o'clock. I gotta go. Good morning. I am driving, so I'm not gonna turn on the light, but I also don't have a voice still. I got a humidifier yesterday, so I feel a lot better than I did, but it is very difficult to teach like this. I'm trying to do everything I can to get my voice back. So yeah, today I have my 3-hour planning, and I will see you after school, or yeah, after school, because it's almost 7, so I don't have time to vlog this morning. So after school it is. Hey guys, so still don't have a voice. I need to head to the doctor, but I'm taking home all these books to try to understand how to teach math, because I need a guide. I'm so focused on creating my own things because that's how I was taught, and I'm not focusing on how to actually teach it. Good morning, guys. As you can see, my voice may be getting a little bit better. This is really the first time I'm talking this morning. I went to the doctor last night, and they gave me an amoxicillin, steroids, and I'm now taking Zyrtec with Sudafed, Zyrtec D instead of just Sudafed. So hopefully that helps. It is 6:13. I had trouble sleeping last night. I woke up at 3:30 thinking it was time to get up, and I kind of never drifted back to sleep. So it was really easy for me to get up this morning. With that being said, I'm going to head to Starbucks and see if I can get some sort of sick tea. At High Point University, we called it sick tea. I know other places they call it something else. So since I'm pretty close to campus, hopefully they'll know what I'm talking about. If not, I have the recipe. But I can't really talk, so the less, the better. Let's go. Okay, so I just got to school. It's almost 7 o'clock. I've had morning duty this week, so I lose 15 minutes of prep in the morning. So my desk is a mess. I got my sick tea though. It's basically like hot apple juice, and it is amazing. It's exactly what you need when you feel like this. It's like a pick-me-up. So I wrote out my plans last night. So I'm gonna go ahead and print them. I had to put some stuff down on my way here because I had so much stuff I couldn't carry it all, so I have to go back and get that. I have their study guide for homework. I need to take a look at the quick check I'm doing. I might need to make a new one because I've decided I need to really focus on one tiny part a day, like one tiny skill, which is what you're supposed to be doing, but for some reason I haven't been doing that. I don't know. I'm used to planning science and social studies where I could be open and do anything. Math is a little bit different than that, which is what I'm learning, which is why I took a bunch of textbooks home last night to read, and I think I'll be okay today. So I'm gonna save my voice and go get that stuff. Hey guys, I just got home. I had a couple meetings after school and obviously can't really vlog My voice is on its way out again. I had people asking me in my last couple of videos about my Power Hour slides. So I call Centers Power Hour because I wanted it to have an exciting name and get the kids really excited about it. And this is how I started the year off, and I got this idea from a Teachers Pay Teachers product. So I'm not going to put this in my store because it's basically exactly like one that's already out there. So if you search like Power Hour slides, it's probably out there. How I used to do centers is I would break the kids up into groups based on the previous test. So they would be working with people on their level. That way, when they came to me in small group time, I would have the kids that are all on the same level. Now, this was harder in some of my lower groups because either they were kids who liked to fool around and there was no one to hold them accountable, or they just didn't know how to even start the game or whatever they were doing. I'm sorry, guys, I'm really trying. So I started doing it differently this week, which I will show you in a moment. But this is the Power Hour slide I created. This timer does kind of work, but I didn't really use it. And I never got through 3 full rotations in a day. And I was struggling to come up with centers and things. I had this slide come up and then cleanup slide, and then they would have another one, another cleanup, and another one, and another cleanup. The title of what they were supposed to be working on would be at the top, and then the kids' names with their group would be at the bottom. So on each slide, the title of what they were working on would just change and their names would stay in the same spot. And the kids were so excited for this. They're like, when are we doing Power Hour? Like, they would love to see like the things they were working on that day. However, like I said, I couldn't necessarily hold them accountable. We never got through all of our rotations. Some kids finished things early, and it just wasn't really working the way I wanted it to. So then I was going to change my centers. I talked to my assistant principal and she gave me the idea to name the centers, like use the acronym MATH, which I know a lot of people do. That way, because I also had kids who weren't getting to all the centers and some kids would be upset. They're like, oh, why do they get to do that and I don't? So I was running into a problem there. So I was going to title all the groups the same, like, oh, you're in the multiplication fact group. At this time, you're in the technology group. At this time, you're in the hands-on activity group. This time, you're in the application, which is like the practice page at this time. And then I would just individually tell each group, like, where they can get their materials. So my higher kids could get harder materials, and then my lower kids could get more on-level materials for them. I was going to do that way. Then the teacher I planned math with, and I'm so sorry you have to listen to my voice right now because I do not enjoy hearing myself talk. And even if I clear my throat, it's just like gone. But I did just take more medicine, so hopefully it'll kick in. The teacher I planned math with has done it where she has an accountability chart. I went ahead and made my own. I can put this on Teachers Pay Teachers if you guys are interested. Just let me know down below. But I have the kids, each kid gets one of these. They put their name and the dates of the week. Down this column is where I put the tasks in before I copy the page. So all of the things I want them to get accomplished by Friday go here, and during each day, they have to tell me what they did and how far they got, or who they worked with, or if they finished. This is for them to remember what they have finished and what they hadn't, and it's for me to be able to see that they are holding themselves accountable and
are working on different things throughout the week. So this week I had a PBL at the top, which is like the fun activity. So they were shopping this week, and because we're doing addition and subtraction, they had to do some addition. We brought in writing checks, so we brought back in Word form. We did a little bit of stuff with expanded form, so it's this whole big project, and that's one of the things they had to get done this week. And then I had a spot for iExcel, which is our technology, our math program that our school pays for. So they do a few of the standards on there that we're working on. Then I had a spot for practice pages, and they have a couple practice pages that they choose when they want to work on them, but just one with addition, one with a subtraction, word problems, and then the last one is meet with me. So I have a variation of things in there, and they were really excited about having the choice. Now, obviously, a lot of my kids, well, not a lot, a few of my kids, I have to pull and check up with them and remind them what they're supposed to be doing. If I want them to work on something in particular, instead of saying, hey, you have to work on this, I say, hey, I need you at my table right now and I need you to bring this paper. So that's how I make sure that my lower babies who wouldn't choose to do the things that I really need them to work on are doing them. We do them in a small group setting, and that way I can monitor how they're doing. I can answer any questions they have. But this way, and then the way my assistant principal was talking about, the math way, without having a set small group meeting time. First of all, in my assistant principal's way, I don't have to have leveled groups, and in my way, I don't have to have groups at all. I know we want to encourage children to work with everyone in the class, but they don't always get along with everyone. So this allows them to mostly work on their own. I did let them work with a partner on word problems this week, and I'll probably pick one thing for the week where they can have a partner activity. So it's like the fun activity, the partner activity, your typical practice page, our technology piece, and then meeting with me. So I really like it. It kind of motivates them to get things done because they know that it has to be done by Friday. A couple of them are nervous that they're not going to get everything done, and I'm just like, just work. We'll talk about that when the time comes. This is our first week doing it. We got to see how it goes. I have been also giving them reminders like throughout the independent work time. I'm like, okay, if you've been working on one thing for a while now, I'd like you to switch it up just to make sure that they are remembering that they have more than one thing that they need to get done. And then for my ESL students, I made directions on how to fill out this chart. So if I do put this on Teachers Pay Teachers, I would include that too, or you could do it differently. But I gave them like, who did you work with? How far did you get? Like just like question prompts so they know what to write in each box. And I gave it to some of my struggling learners as well. And yeah, that's how I've been doing centers this week. Now it's been like a hodgepodge of things because I wasn't able to explain the PBL. Like I kind of started my lesson with it, but then I was like, okay, we can't do it today though because I didn't have time to set it up. And then the next day I was like, guys, I can't speak anymore. I have no voice. So we started the PBL on Wednesday when ideally I would like to start everything on Monday. Oh, and something very, very, very essential to this choice and everything. The teacher I plan with, she gives them just a regular file folder with all the information in it and their chart at the beginning of the week, so they have it all in one place. I didn't feel like making folders for each of them, and they already have a math folder. So on Monday, I had to hand out all the individual papers, but they are keeping it in their math folder, and then they turn in everything at the end of the week. So then for the upcoming week, I'll already have their folders and I can have them stuffed and ready to go. And then since I do kind of touch on a different concept each day, if there's a paper or an activity or something in the centers that they don't know how to do yet, I just say, okay, well, if you're not sure, we must not have gone over it, so you should save that for another day and work on something that you can do right now. And there's enough choices that they have the ability to do that. So I've really liked this so far. I am going to make, this was basically a video in itself about how I do centers with a horrible voice. I'm so sorry. But I just wanted to get that out there because I have been getting a lot of questions about it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go rest my voice and eat some soup and hopefully soothe my chest, throat, whatever this is. And if I think of anything else, I will come back on here, hopefully with a voice. Hey guys, happy Friday. My voice is better than yesterday, but it's still it's missing just a tad. I didn't vlog this morning because I got to school at 7:40. Slept through my alarm, woke up at 7. So, not a good morning. I was also observed this morning by a 3rd grade teacher for something we had to do, so had to get all my thoughts together, but that went well. Right now I'm organizing my 2 data binders for my 2 classes and just catching up on their multiplication quizzes, and I'm gonna write their names on our multiplication facts. I don't think I've showed you guys this, but this is how I'm organizing my intervention time. This was $14 at Office Depot, and when you open it correctly, it slides out like this, kind of like a hanging file folder. I have my groups made up for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday because we don't do interventions on Wednesdays. It looks like this. On the other side it has the groups I'm meeting with, and on this side it has my plans. In that pocket I'm also keeping my notes on the students as they work, and I'm going to make a form to fill out for that. But right now, I just did it on paper this week. And then in every pocket after that, I need to label it right now, but it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then extras or something at the top. So I put in all the papers I need, and then when we're finished that day, I put them back in here, and then I'm going to file these in their data binders because this is showing their progression with the notes I take on each individual child. So in my data binder, each child has a tab with a pocket folder. So the pocket folder is where I keep their work from interventions after the week is over. And then I have a data form on here, and this is also where I'm going to store all their individual notes based on their papers in there. So here's my lovely stack that I am taking home this weekend, all filled up past the top. I've gone through my drawers and they're set up for next week, sort of. There's supposed to be a math test. I have to find it now. And I've also gone through my grade because that's the only bin I use over there. My desk is pretty clear. And I've updated my data binders. I've updated my multiplication facts. So I feel good right now. So I am going to head out for the weekend.